Tweak your face shape, slim your nose, lift your eyes and take years off with these contouring techniques. Keep watching. Hey followers, welcome back to another tutorial. This week is all about contouring. I'm Claire of Harry Jon Hair Makeup and Training, and I'm bringing you videos every Wednesday for DIY styles to recreate things at home. So if you are looking for more tips and techniques in hair and makeup, or you are looking for a career as an artist, then hit subscribe and the bell to be notified for future videos. You can also come across and find me on Instagram and tag me in any of the pictures that you're recreating at home, because it'll be amazing to see what you're recreating and what you're finding useful. So today's video is a contouring one, and this is what has been requested over on my Facebook. I've already put a little bit of makeup on. I've done a little bit of foundation, just eye makeup and eyebrows and things like that. So it's important to get a good foundation so that you're covering up any red pigment. You've got a nice coverage. You've got any broken veins over your cheeks, you're covering that up just so that you get the best out of your contour once you finish. So I have used today the HD brows, and I've put some of this strawberry booster in. So the oil just takes this down a little bit and it's a bit more nourishing because I'm extremely dry at the moment. So just tweak your foundation, get something on that works well for you. The HD brows one, you don't need a lot of it and it covers really well. There's a tutorial over here you can see about foundations and how to tweak them with different primers. I think that contour starts with when you're doing your concealing, so it's not just all about putting the contour powder on. So I would brighten first any shadowy areas around your face. I've now been using these eye erasers. These are from Maybelline, and that's these. I've got them in two colours, so I've got the ivory, which is quite light, and I've also got the nude, which is a bit warmer. So if you are a more mature makeup, you can go more extreme with your concealer, or you can go quite close to your foundation colour. The more lighter you go, the more dramatic you can see your contour will be, because you'll have that difference in colour. So personally, I don't like it too bright. I feel like it ages maturer makeups, and sometimes I go a bit lighter if I'm going out, so it's a little bit more dramatic. But I don't go as bright as what some of the more Instagram contour tutorials are like. I'm a little bit softer. So this first, these have this little sponge on the end, so if you're using this in your kit, you'll want to get rid of that and use this off a palette instead. But if it's in your own makeup bag, that does not matter. I think these are a little bit of a germ hoarder, so I don't particularly like using them. But so to start off with, you're going to go in all your shadowy areas. So you normally will find you're quite dark around this part of your eye. You normally get this darker part here. So I like to put some on there. Down the middle of your nose to brighten. So if your concealer is slightly lighter and you want to slim your nose, you'll want to put something slightly brighter. I always want to slim my nose. Pop a little bit of the lighter one down here, and then in the crevice of your chin there, you want to brighten the sides of your nose here where you get quite shadowy. So I'm going to pop a little bit there. I'm just going to fluff this out with this blending brush from Illamasqua. These are all synthetic, so they're great. You can use these with powder or cream, and you can use this one for concealing, or you could use it for eyeshadow. So I'm just going to push the products, but then kind of blend it out, so softly patting and pushing. So you're getting this soft blend. I'm taking it up the sides of the face. If you've done your eyeshadow, if you take this up the sides of your eyeshadow, you'll just carve out your eyeshadow softly, and then you'll lift your eye more on the sides, and then just make sure that's blended in. And then you're going to keep patting this out. What you don't want to do is, because this product is slightly lighter than your foundation, is you don't want to buff this out too much, because you'll end up with the area looking too bright and then it'll just look a bit strange. And then you can take a little bit brighter here if you feel like this needs opening up and brightening up a little bit. But again, mature makeups, when I've worked on clients, I tend to find that they don't like it too bright underneath, because it feels a little bit too young. And for me, on my face, it always makes me feel like a bit like an alien. It makes me feel like my eyes are further apart, which is really, really weird. Then from there, I'm going to use the Kat Von D palette. This is this one, and this is called Shade and Light. It's got this gorgeous, gorgeous packaging. This is great as well if you're fairer skin, but it also goes quite up to quite dark, so it's a real good one, especially if you want something that's going to work for if you're on holiday, and then you've got something for the winter as well. And then again, I'm using another Illamasqua brush, and this is one of their angle brushes. So these are the best brush to have in your makeup kit. I absolutely love the angle brush because you can do so much with them. So when you're starting out, we're going to first look at face shape. So if you feel like your forehead is too high, you want to be shading across the top of your forehead. If you've got quite a prominent chin, you want to go on the end of your chin. If you're quite wide, or if you've got quite a square jaw and you want to soften that, you'll just take it into your hairline around the outside. So you're going to soften your face shape. And then if you want to lift jowls, so I'm going to pick up some of the lighter and then a couple of dabs of the dark. And then if you're strengthening your jawline, you're going underneath your jaw and just taking this powder underneath. What you don't want to do is go too dark with this and then end up with a grey stripe underneath. So contour powders tend to be on the mushroomy cooler side, so even though they look almost like a bronzer, you will find that they actually have this slightly cooler tone. And contour powder is essentially creating that chisel and giving you and sucking in the areas that you want to take in. So I'm going to use this middle one on me. So then for cheekbones, you want to go where you can see from your ear. Normally if you suck your cheeks in, you can see where you need to go. You want your fullest part of your cheek, you'll have a little bit of a blend off here. Your bronzer is going to go around this area, and then your highlight is going to go on the top part of your cheekbone, so the light bounces off there. So then you end up with the light bouncing, you have some warmth, and then the slightly cooler contour powder will sculpt you in, and you'll get a slightly more rounded face. So if you are slightly older and like me, and the volume is slightly dropped out your face and you're not as full in your cheek anymore, you can completely camouflage that by doing contour. Now I do this every single day. I do have a 10-minute makeup now, which you can see here. I do the contour every single morning. I use the same contour powder to do my eyes and my cheeks. And then we're going to start going into the cheekbones. So we're going into the cheek and then pushing this up. So you're pressing and pushing up, and you make sure you're not going too high. You're going under your cheekbone. So you can see here it starts and it's going up to this part of your ear here and going down towards your mouth. But before you get all the way down, you don't want to be taking the dark right down here. When you get towards your cheek, you're going to gently flick up and you'll start to sculpt out your cheeks and give it a little bit more definition. Always when you're first going onto your face, go to where you want the most product, so it's not going too dark in the areas where you want it to blend off. So closer towards your areas where you want it to be darker, and then you sculpt in the remains of what's on your brush around the front. Let's do the other side. So sculpting round and then sculpting off. Now we've done the bigger areas of the face, let's go to the smaller ones. As well as your face shape and your cheekbones, which tend to be the obvious ones, you can also slim your nose down, increase your pout and lift your eye. So I'm going in with mixing these two again. I'm using a little bit of the lighter one just so it's not too dark when it goes onto the skin, and I'm going to go down the sides of the nose. So you're starting, if you've got a bit of a broken nose or anything like that, on the side that it bends out, if you shade that side and don't shade the other side, you'll bring it in a little bit more. And then you can completely sculpt your nose. So if this was very light down the middle now, you'll get much more of a sculpt. So I normally like to take this in a little bit on the end, and that's a little bit too dark. I'm just going to soften that with a bigger brush. And then do the other side. So if your nose is a little bit lower here, if you shade the end of your nose, you'll lift it and bring it up, and vice versa. If it comes up at the end, if you shade the end of your nose, you'll bring it down. So there's lots you can do to create that shape. After that, we're also going to do the lip. So I've already put a little bit of lip products on, but I'm going to just shade, so just underneath the middle of your lip for something natural. If you want to increase that, you can shade it out a little bit more on both to it, but you want the majority of your product to be here in the middle of your lip, and then gently blend off with what you've got left on your brush, and that will just create this little shadowy to make them look a little bit fuller. I'm going to do a tutorial next week on how to cheat your lip and make that look full without doing lip fillers. And with the same thing, I'm also going to lift the eye. So if your eyes have dropped and your eye skin here, you take the same colour again, and then we're going to go into the socket, so just into where your socket line is. So if you can feel where your socket bone is, and you're going to go into there. So I'm starting in the middle, and then I'm just going to move the brush from side to side. You can use a smaller brush if you want to, and you'll start to see that this will just lift and give your eyes a tiny bit more definition. And then, so you make sure you blend it off. So what you don't want to be doing is leaving yourself with any lines. You almost want to make this look like you've got a natural shadow there that's being created by the light. And then you can go again as strong or as light as you want with this, but just a little bit will just lift your eye shape, give you a tiny bit more definition, make you look a bit more awake, and make it look like your eyes are back where they were 10 years ago. And if your eyes are quite protruding, if you've got quite a really good socket and yours come out a lot more, you can use the contour powder across your whole eyelid and it will bring your eyes back in as well. Then my favourite is Soft and Gentle from MAC, and this is a gorgeous highlighter. It's really, really soft. It's got a tiny hint of pink. It's kind of peachy. I like to use the end of this angle brush again, so the very point where it tips out the furthest. Pick some of this product up, and then once you've got some on there, you're going to go where, if you're in a light or something like that and you can see where this light is hitting the tops of your cheekbones, that's where you want to be hitting. If you've got a lot of lines around your eyes, don't take this too close to your eyes, kind of skim the outer edge with a little bit, and it won't add any, and it won't add to your aging. It will make you look more youthful, and then you'll just have this really pretty glow. I've already got a little bit of glow because I've mixed some of the strawberry oil with my foundation this morning. You just literally tiny circular motions, you go into the middle, tiny circular motions, and taking it out. And with highlight, you always want to be tilting your head, checking in the mirror before you go out, and making sure that that's blended nicely, because you don't want to end up with a stripe. I also like to bring a little bit down my nose, so if you're quite an oily skin, you probably won't want any there because it'll make you feel more oily. And then I like to do the top of my Cupid's bow, so the very top of your lip, and then back to the smaller brush that we use for the concealer, pick up a little bit again, and then I take this just in the middle of my eyelids, and that is because it will help bounce the lights. Because I've got a hooded eye, it will just give your eyelid that little bit more of a push forward because it's bringing the light in, and it makes such a massive difference. So it's a really good one to try. And if you want to see more on lips and how to pump your lips up, you will be able to see that next Wednesday. So remember to hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, drop me in the comments how useful you found this. If you would like me to do a diagram, then please let me know, because I can design a diagram and put that in the downloads for you. And I hope you found this useful. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.